Hello, namaskar, vanakkam, adab, arzai, sat sri akal. I hope all of you are doing well. Now, this particular video, many of you have been asking, many of my students also wrote to me saying, please tell us how exactly should we approach English literature paper and syllabus for both class 11 and class 12, because obviously it's very different from what we did in class 9 and 10. Absolutely right. ये काफी अलग है from the kind of stuff that you did in class 9 and 10. इसके मुकाबले Merchant of Venice will look like a cakewalk compared to Tempest, compared to Macbeth. Okay, मैंने अपने एक पुराने वीडियो में I think in the first video that I did on Tempest, I had said if Merchant of Venice was like Varun Dhawan, Tempest is like Nawazuddin Siddiqui. Okay, so इतना फर्क है, इतना अंतर है, right? And if Tempest was Nawazuddin Siddiqui, I would say Macbeth is like Ashutosh Rana. Is like Nasiruddin Shah, right? It's even more intense. It's like Irfan Khan, the late Irfan Khan, right? It's that much more intense, right? We will talk about that. Okay, so before we start, I want to thank all the class 10 students who have actually joined us again in class 11, and according to me, this is the ultimate certificate of trust. In fact, I feel very happy when I see students who were with us in the batch of 2021 or 22, unke chote bhai, choti behan, cousin brother, cousin sisters, they are being encouraged to join our courses in class 9 and 10. That, according to me, is a big thing. It's a big certificate of trust, and it puts a big responsibility on our shoulders, right? So, that is something which we always believe is the strength of SWS. The strength of SWS is you people, our community, our SWS family. So, are you ready for the magic in class 11 and class 12? So, as I said, this is going to be very different. So, let me first talk about class 12, right? This is the app and the channel which will help you exceed your expectations, period. Oh, ho jayega. Okay, we are your partners for excellence, and I focus on the word partner. I'm not just a teacher. I believe I'm a life coach. I tell a lot of things, especially for students on our app. You speak to anyone who was part of our 10th class courses. We do a lot of things beyond just the syllabus, right? In public speaking, how to conduct yourself, emotional challenges, different kind of, challenges which are always there in our life. And, well, many of our students have obviously excelled themselves for 2 consecutive years. And that itself is proof of what we do. We don't have to shout from the rooftops for that. Okay. As Sachin Tendulkar used to say, I let my bat do the talking. Our students do the talking for us, right? And of course, the SWS Natu Natu series, on which so many of you actually showed a lot of love, right? Okay, let's get started. How to prepare for ISC 11 and 12 English literature paper. Let me start with class 12. You have the Tempest, Act 3, 4 and 5. Act 1 and 2 में क्या हुआ इसको जानने की जरूरत है, लेकिन उसका लाइन बाय लाइन एक्सप्लेनेशन की जरूरत आपको नहीं है. 11th class में हो गया, टाटा बाय बाय. You have the Echoes, Reverie. You will be the last batch to study these 3 books. Okay. Now, as far as Tempest is concerned, understanding of the themes is extremely important, right? Now, many of you in your class 11 who are part of our Tempest course, in which I also gave you notes for some of the chapters for Echoes and Reverie, did very well. I've got the marks from many of you. You have scored in the high 90s. Zarurat hai that you need to maintain the same form when you go into class 12, which will be your board examination, right? So pay attention to the overall themes of the Tempest. I'll give you all that as part of the course. The father-daughter relationship, the master-slave relationship between Prospero Ariel, Prospero Caliban, the theme of revenge, right? The theme of colonization, that Prospero comes and takes over this island, which is resented by the likes of Caliban, and even Ariel is looking for freedom. The theme of freedom in Prospero, so in Tempest. So all these thematic questions which are there, you need to have your answers prepared, because these can come in some way or the other as part of the 10-mark question in the Tempest, right? So that is again something very important. So thematic question and answers को please prepare कर लीजिए with keywords, usage from the thing, so that उस समय पर exam hall में आप सोच नहीं रहे हैं, right? आपके ये सारे matters सारे prepared हैं. The role of the mask, which may come more as a 5 mark instead of a 10 mark question, is what I would think, right? So prepare these answers. Similarly, in Echoes and Reverie, all the 10 chapters are done by me on YouTube. I'm not doing them as part of the course. However, what I have done is, from my side, for students who are enrolled into our course on the app, from my side, free of cost, I'm providing them with my own personal notes for whatever chapters I have. I think I may have about for 6 chapters. उसमें से 3-4 के तो already डाल दिए हैं मैंने, right? 2 और होंगे. So I'll put them. So from my side, whatever help is possible, but I'm not teaching them on the app. But YouTube पे I've given detailed explanations. You can use our YouTube material free of cost on Echoes and Reverie के 5 poems and 5 chapters. Okay. Now, the other part is that as far as Echoes Reverie is concerned, now you are already familiar with the format of the question paper. You have the logical reasoning questions, you have the MCQs, and then you have the 5 mark and the 10 mark questions, right? So what you need to do, one, of course, you cannot do percentage study. You cannot say कि मैं ये Act 3 का ये वाला scene छोड़ दूंगा. You cannot afford to do that, because it can come either in MCQ or in the reasoning questions or as a 5 mark kind of a question, right? So you need to have thorough understanding of the play. The other thing that you need to do, and this I'll tell to my class 11 students also, that you get into the habit at which, if in case if you don't have that, any sentence you read, like say in the Tempest or any story or poem in Echoes or Reverie, what you need to do is that to see whether it can be twisted into a because question, a logical reasoning question. So the more such questions that you prepare, you will actually gain from doing something like that in addition to whatever I will be giving you. Okay, so this is what you need to do. Prepare your answers with keywords, how to read every passage and poem. Reading the text, I always say, and the same applies whether it was class 10 or now in class 11 and 12, read and your text multiple times. The more times you read, the better grasp you get of the play, the poem and the story. Then thematic answers in both stories and poems also, just like it was in the case of Tempest. Let's move on to class 11 students. Okay. Now, there have been students who have been asking me about the English language course. We didn't do it last year. There is a lot of pressure on me to do it this year, but I need time to prepare the content. So hopefully by the end of June, early July, we should be able to start it. Hopefully, I have not started work on it at all till now. Okay. So that is something which we'll do. The one thing difference between the 10th class, even 10th class this time, that's going to be the change. We are going to take a limited number of students. We are not going to take too many, because I can't have to, because I check each and every essay, letter, etc. for class 10. Similarly, here I will have to check every essay that is written, be it argumentative, narrative, descriptive, the other kind of writing, statement of purpose, film review, book review. हर student का मैं check करता हूँ. That is the specialty of the course. It's a very test-driven, assignment-driven course. It's not like, you know, 4 videos डाल दिए, course खत्म हो गया. No. It's a very interactive kind of a course where I kind of take care of every student on an individual basis. So I cannot take too many students, because I don't want to take students for the heck of it and not be able to do justice to that student. So if I take 10 students, I'll take 10 students and I will devote attention to them. 10 matlab 10 bhi ho sakta hai, 20 bhi ho sakta hai, depending on how many I can actually ensure that I do justice to. Because 10th class mein last year, there were a few students who joined at the last minute, right? And I was very tense. Let me be very honest. Much to my surprise and delight, they have done exceedingly well. There was one student, let me take his name, Abranil. I remember I used to make him write an essay letter every single day. He joined at the very last minute and he scored 92 in English language. The kind of progress he had made, phenomenal progress from what he was at the pre-boards level to the boards level, phenomenal. I was so proud of him. So that's the kind of effort. But वो last minute पे tension बहुत हो जाता है मुझे, you know, because I don't want to kind of have a student enroll with a lot of hope and not be able to meet those expectations. We were able to meet expectations of all the students who had joined at the last minute. But even then, I don't want to have the tension. This time we are going to close the admissions early. So I just want to say that for students who have been asking me about the English language course. Macbeth is very complex. Now you have Macbeth and not Tempest. So Macbeth is a far more interesting play than Tempest any day, but it's also a very complex play, very layered. The characters like Macbeth, Lady Macbeth, Banquo, Duncan are complex characters. So maza bahut aata hai. You know, I enjoy. We have almost finished. I'm on Act 2 right now. I've finished Act 2, Scene 2 tak. So that is happening on the course, Macbeth course, on the SWS app, right? Prism-Rhapsody also we have started. We have already done 2 poems and 2 stories out there. So that is again happening. I will be posting content on YouTube, but it will take time. Let me say that also. It's not as though I'll do it only on the app. I will do it on the course, on the YouTube also, but it will take some time because it takes time to do both. You know, it's not like, you know, ye bhi kar sakta hu, wo bhi kar sakta hu. And I also want to keep the content distinct by doing one in English, one in Hindi. MCQs, logical reasoning question, 5 mark and 10 mark question. So that's very different from how you approached Merchant of Venice. Many of you who have joined me in class 11 are students who scored 100 on 100 on English literature. The number of our students who scored 100 on 100 in English literature is huge number, right? So they all obviously want to repeat the same kind of performance. इसमें थोड़ी मेहनत ज़्यादा लगेगी. One, because Prism-Rhapsody के poems and chapters are a little more complicated. Obviously, अभी 10th से 11th में आए हो. Macbeth is far more complex than Merchant of Venice. Okay, Merchant of Venice was like vanilla ice cream, right? Macbeth is like wholesome, you know. It's like eating a Hyderabadi biryani. Okay, maza bahut aayega lekin. Okay, as I said to the class 12 students, look for because element in your stories, passages and poem. Koi bhi living God mein Hamaguchi, why did Hamaguchi Gohei behave in a, why did he burn the fields? You know, for everything you should be able to make it into a because question and be able to think. Apart from the many questions that I will give you in any case, usi mein pura ho jayega, but get into the habit of thinking in terms of because, ताकि आपको वो logical reasoning वाले questions में आपको बिल्कुल भी दिक्कत ना हो. Attention to detail. This is with specific reference to the MCQs. This is again very important. Okay, I'm just seeing if I have missed out anything. What should be your approach? Read the text very thoroughly. Very thoroughly. The chapters 2 of your stories are extremely long. Okay, वो हम बाद में करेंगे. The poems are a little more complex, like Sonnet 116 is an extremely complex poem, again written by Shakespeare. So you need to read the text carefully. Macbeth पे मैं जितना भी बोलूँ कम है, because इसमें you need to read every passage very thoroughly, because Macbeth is essentially taught at the graduation level, at the college level. I did it in second year of my English literature BA honors. So now you're doing it in class 11 and 12. So you know, you can imagine आपको किस level का literature पढ़ाया जाएगा अभी. Okay, so attention to detail is something very important. Prepare the points beforehand. Thematic answers, I will help you do all that. So that is something which you should do. I only say one thing. Leave, because in class 11 and 12, you need to focus a lot on your, if you are a science student, on your PCMB, if you're a commerce student, on your commerce, economics, accountancy kind of subjects, if you're humanities, history, political science, sociology, psychology, whatever, geography, whatever. So outsource your English worries to Sudhir sir. That's what all I would say. I will take care of your English worries, not to worry at all. Okay, just like we did that in class 9 and 10. Last thing, some of you have been asking me about books, which workbook to use. Now, I picked up a couple of books at the beginning of the academic year and found they were very bad. In fact, after the initial thing, I have not even touched those books because they're so bad quality. Very disappointed with the quality. So subsequently, I searched, and only now they have released a book called Almond Books, which I have released. Now, this is not a promotional video. Let me say that very clear. We do not kind of do that by taking money from publishers. This is not a promotional video at all. Let me say that very clearly. But since you have been asking, in fact, I tell publishers that I will not do book reviews unless I use the books myself and I'm happy with the quality of the books. So there is this almond books. Let me just show it to you. This is what I bought. This is 580 rupees, but this is a workbook for the entire 11th class Prism and Rhapsody. Okay, I did a pre-order. So at pre-order stage pay, I got an I think 10% discount on this one, right? Yeah, and this is the Macbeth ka this thing. This is also I bought. On this also pre-order kiya tha. Abhi to of course market mein hai, but what you should do, what they have given us is that if you use the Study with Sudhir coupon code, you get a 10% discount and also free delivery. They will deliver the book to you free of cost, right? So this is something which they have extended to Study with Sudhir after seeing our fabulous results, I guess. So that is something which you can take advantage of, because in the other workbooks, etc., I found the number of the explanations not very good. In many cases, in both class 9 and in class 11, the explanations were also incorrect, right? The number of questions were not many, right? Be it in MCQs or be it in the subjective format, right? So this is something which I found was of a better quality. So please have a look at it, if you please. And if you decide to buy, use this so that you can save some money and also get free delivery of the book. So this is as far as the English literature for ISC class 11 and 12 is concerned. I will do similar videos for class 9 and 10 as well, right? So don't worry. I will do similar videos which will tell you how to, for students who want to start early and have dreams of being up there in the 98, 99% category. See, it's not about marks. It's about the journey. It's about the process. Process ko enjoy karo. Destination, by the time you reach, you will enjoy reaching that destination. And my job is to be a partner in this journey with you so that you can enjoy this entire journey. Okay, tata, bye bye.